AMD is absolutely dominating Intel and Amazon's best-selling CPUs list. It's almost embarrassing for Team Blue. Out of the top 50 spots, Intel scrapes together just 20, while AMD takes a commanding lead with 27 spots. That's over half the list owned by AMD, which is a huge win for them and a rough look for Intel. In today's video, we're diving deep into Amazon's CPU rankings, breaking down which processors made the list and where they rank. Oh, and here's the kicker. Only one Arrow Lake CPU made the cut, and it's placement, let's just say it's a little too funny to miss. Stick around because you won't want to miss these jaw-dropping stats from Amazon's top 50 best-selling CPUs. Welcome back to LA Electronics, your ultimate destination for the latest and greatest in PC tech news and leaks, especially when it comes to GPUs and CPUs. If you're serious about staying ahead of the curve, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you're always in the loop. Also be sure to follow me on X where I post everything first before going in depth in the videos. In today's video, we're diving into Amazon's best-selling CPU list, but don't worry, we won't bore you with all 100 entries. We're focusing on the top 50 and trust me, you'll be shocked by how much AMD dominates. Here's a hint, it's over 50%. Meanwhile, Intel is seriously lagging behind with only one Arrow Lake CPU making the list, and when you see where that CPU lands, you might just spit out your drink laughing. Stick around until the end because the top 10 is absolutely mind-blowing. There's a lot to unpack, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. At the time of writing this script, Amazon's top 50 best-selling CPU list is absolutely being dominated by AMD. They've snagged an incredible 27 out of 50 spots, claiming 54% of the list. Intel, on the other hand, holds just 20 spots or 40%. Honestly, it's hard to see Intel catching up anytime soon. The remaining 6% is taken by 3 CPU accessories. Thermal Grizzly's AM5 CPU guard / contact frame ranks 32nd. Corsair XT M70 thermal paste, which is 41st, and the Thermalright LGA 1700 contact frame is in 42nd place. Now let's get into the rankings. Starting at number 50, we have the Ryzen 5 4600G. Right above it at 49 is the Ryzen 5 9600X. Coming in at 48 and 47 are two Intel Core i5s, the i5 12400 and the i5 14600KF. Moving up, numbers 46 through 43 include the Ryzen 7 3700X, Core i9 13900KF, Core i5 14600K, and Ryzen 5 3600. Slots 42 and 41 are those CPU accessories we mentioned earlier, but don't go anywhere because number 40 is going to surprise you. In the top 10, you won't believe how it turns out. Stick around for all the juicy details. If you're loving the content and want to help keep it coming, consider buying me a coffee. Your support fuels each video, whether it's the latest tech news, detailed repair guides, or honest reviews. Every coffee you buy goes right back into the channel, helping me upgrade gear, improve the setup, and stay energized to bring you the best in PC tech news and leaks. Whether it's one coffee or a few, each $5 brew makes a huge difference, and I can't thank you enough for keeping this channel going strong. Your support truly means everything to me. At number 40, we have the only Arrow Lake CPU in Amazon's top 50, the Core Ultra 7 265K. For Intel, that's a pretty rough showing. Just one Arrow Lake CPU cracking the top 50, and it's all the way down at number 40. Ouch. Sure, Arrow Lake CPUs are still relatively new, but it gets worse. The only other Arrow Lake processor in the top 100 is the Core Ultra 9 285K, sitting all the way down at number 70. And get this, on Tuesday 11/19/24, it was at number 50. The next day on 11/20/24, when I wrote this script, it dropped to 70th place. That's a massive 20-point drop in just 24 hours. So what's going on here? Is it because Arrow Lake CPUs are new, or is it because they flopped? Let's not forget their messy launch completely overshadowed by AMD unveiling their Ryzen 9000X 3D CPUs the very next day. Let me know in the comments, do you think Arrow Lake CPUs are struggling because they're too new, or because they're just not cutting it and they're trash CPUs? Moving up the list, we've got the Ryzen 9 7950X 3D at 39, the Ryzen 5 8500G at 38, and the Ryzen 5 5600 GT at 37. Intel pops back in at 36 and 35 with the Core i5 12600KF and Core i7 14700KF. KF. Then at 34th and 33rd, we see AMD again with the Ryzen 5 4500 and Ryzen 9 9950X. The last CPU accessory on the list, Thermal Grizzly's AM5 contact frame, lands at 32. Now for numbers 31 to 29, we've got the Intel Core i9 12900KS, Core i9 14900KF, and Core i5 13600K. AMD grabs 28th with the Ryzen 7 9700X, followed by 3 more Intel CPUs rounding out numbers 27 to 25. The Core i5 12400F, Core i5 12600K, and Core i9 12900K. Stick around because the top 25 is where AMD truly flexes its dominance, and trust me, you don't want to miss the top 10, it's gonna shock you. At 24th place, we got the Ryzen 9 5950X with its sibling, the Ryzen 7 5700G, right ahead at 23rd. Intel makes an appearance in 22nd place with the Core i9 13900KF, followed by the Ryzen 5 5600 in 21st. Now positions 20 through 17 are an Intel streak with 4 CPUs, the Core i7 12700K, Core i7 14700K, Core i7 12700KF, and the Core i9 14900K. AMD steps back into the spotlight at 16th and 15th with the Ryzen 9 7900X and Ryzen 9 7950X. Moving to positions 14 through 11, we see a mix of AMD and Intel. The Core i7 13700K at 14, the Ryzen 9 9900X at 13, the Ryzen 5500 at 12, and the Core i5 13600KF rounding out 11th place. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the top 10 best-selling CPUs on Amazon. Here's the kicker, the entire top 10 is dominated by AMD. In 10th place is the Ryzen 5 7600, followed by the Ryzen 7 5800X in 9th. 8th place belongs to the Ryzen 7 7700X, with the Ryzen 7 5700X3D edging ahead in 7th. 6th place is taken by the Ryzen 7 9800X3D, and the Ryzen 7 7800X3D claims 5th place. The Ryzen 9 5900 locks in 4th place. Now for the top 3. In 3rd place, we have the Ryzen 5 7600X, and its predecessor, the Ryzen 5 5600X, holds strong in 2nd place. Finally, standing tall as the #1 best-selling CPU on Amazon is the Ryzen 7 5700X. Claiming all top 10 spots on Amazon's best-selling CPU list is a big win for AMD. Keep in mind these rankings reflect the standings at the time of writing this script, so things might shift by the time you're watching, but honestly, I doubt there will be any major shakeups. Let me know what you think about Amazon's top 50 best-selling CPUs. Would you like me to cover more bestseller lists from Amazon or other retailers? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button as it really helps the channel and lets me know you want more content like this. Curious to see if the RX 5700 XT still holds up in 2024? Click the card in the top right corner to check out my in-depth video on it. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.